Welcome to the DBMS course. Today I am going to start a new course in which I will teach you guys how to design databases, most importantly relational databases like SQL Server, and after taking this course you will be able to design any database of kind of relational database kind. So how databases came into being? First of all, when we were writing programs, we were storing the data in RAM, and when the system goes off, all of the data erases. So actually we were required a medium to store that data so that we can access that data again when we again start up our system. So in order to do that, first of all, we scientists thought and came to a solution that was called filing. What was this? In this, we used to store data in the form of txt file so when our system starts, that the data was loaded from that file, and after that there were plenty of drawbacks of filing, and some of them were: in files the data is stored like this in lines, and there is no arrangement. So if we need to access some data that is at the end of file, then what we were required to do was to go through the whole file, and then we will reach the data. So that was very much inefficient, that we have to go through the whole file and that then get to the exact data that we were required. So we thought, and we decided to build a new solution to overcome this drawback. So we reached another solution that was called hierarchical databases. So let's get started about the relational databases. So first of all, I will be starting from DBMS. DBMS is basically a software that manages the databases through which we can query to database. For example, this is a SQL database, and we want to query something from this database using any kind of language. This DBMS provides us a language, special language, that is called SQL, sequential query language, that provides us facility to access that databases efficiently. For example, if we want to get all the users from this database, this provides a syntax like this: select static formatted name of the table that is being made in the database, for example DB table. Alright, So DBMS is a software which provides us facility to query this database, manage this whole database. So there are many terms which we need to know before getting things started. So the first thing is level of abstraction. In databases, there exists many complexities. So for example, this SQL, when we want to access a table that is made in this database, we want to access this table. So in order to do that, we will query this database and it will return us the whole data in that table. So for example, we have written this query. This query will provide us the whole table, but we don't know what this does in the we actually don't know what this does in the background and returns us that data. That means that inner complexities are hidden. Maybe this has some kind of code behind it, behind written, that gets executed on writing this query, and that piece of code is hidden from us. So this is what we call level of abstraction. For example, you create a software, you provide the user with a user interface, and user can interact with that database through that interface. So he is not using that code to get access to that databases. He is just using the software, using the layout. He can access the database from layout. But what we programmers do, we can access that database through code. So that code for that end user is hidden. He don't know that there is a code written behind this that gets executed on clicking a button on the layout. So we are hiding that complexity to that user. That user can't see the code that gets executed every time he clicks a button. So this is what we call level of abstraction. There are many level of abstractions in databases. For example, the code that we are writing to access that database, end user don't know about that code. That is level of abstraction for end user. And for us, we write just this query and accesses the whole table, and we don't know the inner complexities, what this query does in the background. So that's level of abstraction for us. All right, I hope level of abstraction would be clear. So in next video, we'll be talking about schema.